Sega.
Today we're here at the Cologne Games Convention to announce Napoleon Total War, the latest in the Total War series, hot on the heels of Empire. This is literally the perfection of everything that we began with Empire, and hopefully this time around will be our greatest Total War to date. For a start, I would say that the reason that CA is focusing on a character versus just a large sweep of time this time around with Napoleon Total War is that Napoleon literally was an era, the Napoleonic era. The man was such a great tactician and such a venerable leader that he literally defined an age of warfare. So coming hard on the heels of Empire and the concentration on the 18th century there, it made really good sense to focus on the advances and indeed the tactics and the battles of Napoleon. Well, the main story does of course follow Napoleon and the rise of France and the power of France. So if you want to play through the narrative, then you want to focus on playing the French. However, if you want to go ahead and have a go at the other factions and oppose yourself against France and try and fight against the military might that they become, then we are looking at getting the other nations into the game, especially towards the end in the third campaign, which is the Grand European campaign, where you'll probably get a chance to play as Britain and Russia and Austria and other major nations at the time. All of Napoleon's major engagements will be there as historical scenarios for you to play through from either side to see if you could have done better or indeed if you could have done worse than the other generals of the day. We're still balancing which battles we're going to include, but you can be sure that the major conflicts will definitely make it into the historical scenarios. When we begin, Napoleon has just been given charge of the armies in Italy in order to see off the Austrians. Now the appointment by the French ruling class there at that point was that Napoleon was supposed to just go away and kind of keep the Austrians quiet. Instead he used it as an opportunity to really make his name on the battlefield and do some serious damage to the Austrian Empire. We then follow him through to the Middle Eastern campaign, whereby he's going out into the Middle East to bring back the riches of Egypt and elsewhere back to France and show his own glory. The idea there being to cement his public opinion in France as very high. And then finally we come into the final phase, which is Napoleon as Emperor of France, taking on all the allied European powers and hopefully, if you play well, going beyond and above what Napoleon was able to achieve historically. So if you imagine what we started with the Road to Independence, where you had 3 chapters, you've now got a whole campaign map devoted solely to the Italian campaign, a whole campaign map devoted solely to the Middle Eastern campaign, and then a large campaign map devoted solely to the Grand European campaign following on from that. So there are actually 3 separate large campaign maps, all of which are kind of more detailed, contain different features and tactical sets than those that you may have seen before. I am super excited about Napoleon Total War because Napoleon is going to be bigger, better, grander, more tactical and more strategic than Empire ever was, and I'm extremely proud of Empire, so to take it on a level with Napoleon is pretty fascinating.